Hello students, a very good morning to you. Today we will continue our chapter 2 of class 12, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In my last class, I have told about the process of microsporogenesis, in which we see that how microspore tetrad is formed. So the diagram, again recall, the diagram was like this and they are the microsporangium inside which pollen grains are formed. And after the maturation of pollen grain, here is the line of dehiscence. This line is called as line of dehiscence. It means when the pollen grains inside this microsporangium get matured, the line of dehiscence get ruptured and the pollen grains are come outside. Clear? So today we will study about pollen grain. Our topic is pollen grain. So students, what is pollen grain? Pollen grains represent the male gametophytes. Means it represents the male gametophytes. It means one pollen grain contains two male gametes. So let's see what is the structure of pollen grain, how are they look like, and what is the made up of. The pollen grains are powdery structure. Clear? They are powdery structure. If you dust a flower, means if you dust a flower on your hand, then you can see the powder, yellow powder like structure. They are called pollen grains. And the pollen grains are of different shape and different sizes. Some are look like this, some are like this, some are like this. So they are of different size if we study them through microscope. As we know, due to their shape, they also cause irritations and allergies to human beings. They are cause allergy to the human beings. You very familiar about the carrot grass, or which is called Parthenium. Carrot grass or Parthenium, that is imported through wheat from Australia, and that is caused the great pollen allergy in human beings. Means some persons can't tolerate the pollen allergy. That's why they show some allergic responses like sneezing and coughing. That's why some are advised to not to smell the flowers. So this is about pollen grain. Let's see how the pollen grain is formed. As I have told you, in these microsporangiums, pollen grains are formed. If we see again the cross section of the pollen grain, then we can see here is a pollen grain, here is a pollen grain, here is a pollen grain, and here is a pollen grain. So how the pollen grains get mature? If we see, initially the pollen grain is look like this. The pollen grain is look like this. This is the nucleus, and they are the cytoplasm, and this is the cell membrane. We can say as cell membrane. So initially, during the formation of pollen grain, we can see the pollen grain is look like this, and after this, the vacuole is visible. How mature? This is again the nucleus. Clear, students? And they are the vacuoles. They are vacuoles, and this is nucleus. Here I am telling about the steps that how a pollen grain get mature. So this is the first step and this is the second step, how the pollen grain looks like. Then the nucleus get converted into, in the third step we can see the nucleus get converted into spindle shape. Means it look like this. This is called as spindle shape, and vacuole which appear two here. The vacuole get increased in size and appears as large. In next step what happen? It get matured and it has two cells. One is generative cell and another is vegetative cell. This one is called vegetative cell and this one is called generative cell. So we can say, students, here that a pollen grain has two cells. One is large sized vegetative cell which provides nutrition, and here is the small sized generative cell which contains the male gametes. Remember, this part is called as vegetative cell as its size is large and it gives nutrition to the generative cell. Why generative cell needs nutrition? As it contains two male gametes. So pollen grains are of two types. Some are shaded at two cell stage, and some are three cell stage. So in two cell stage we can only see the vegetative and generative cell. Whereas in three cell stage, this is two cell stage. And in three cell stage we can see two male gametes. Here is the vegetative cell and here is the generative cell having two male gametes. This is the mature pollen grain. So let's see what is a pollen grain made of. A pollen grain has two layers. This is a pollen grain. It has, as I have told you, this part is vegetative and this part is generative, having two male gametes. The outer layer is called as exine. This is the outer layer. The outer layer is called exine. And the inner layer is called intine. And the exine is made up of sporopollenin. Exine is made up of sporopollenin. This is indestructible, means it is found that this is the first organic substance which is indestructible and can't be degraded by any enzymes. It also ability to resist high temperature, humidity and other factors. That's why the male gametes inside the pollen grain remains safe because of the outer layer exine which is made up of sporopollenin. Remember student, due to sporopollenin, the male gametes are not damaged inside the pollen grain as it protects the male gametes, as well as no enzyme is found to be degrade this outer layer sporopollenin, and this has the ability to resist high temperature, humidity and other abiotic factors. The sporopollenin covers all entire pollen grain except the germ pore. This is called as germ pore. What is the importance is this germ pore? Germ pore, through germ pore, the male gametes come out from the pollen grain during fertilization. Again, intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. As we know, cellulose and pectin. So we can simply say that the exine is the outer layer of pollen grain, whereas the intine is inner layer of pollen grain. Exine is made up of sporopollenin and intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Due to sporopollenin, the pollen grains remain safe and protected inside the pollen grain, and intine is the living substance, that is the thin layer, which covers the cytoplasm of the pollen grain and found inside the pollen grain. So next is, as I have told you here, some are 2 cell stage and some are 3 cell stage. If we consider the pollen grain as 100%, then 60% of pollen grain, remember this will come in 1 mark question, 60% of pollen grains fall on 2 cell stage, whereas 40% of pollen grain have 3 cell stage. It means when 60% pollen grain have only vegetative and generative cell, clear, whereas 3 cell stage vegetative and the generative cell already divided, means here one cell and here one cell, 1 2 3, this is 3 cell stage and this is 1 2, this is 2 cell stage. So out of 100% pollen grain, 60% of pollen grain fall on 2 cell stage and 40% fall on three-side stage. So here students, there is a question that why the sporopollenin covers the pollen grain except the germ pore. As I have told you, it is indestructible. So if sporopollenin present in the germ pore, then what will happen? Then the gametes, male gametes, can't be released. That's why this portion lacks sporopollenin. Sporopollenin covers entire pollen grain except there where the germ pore is present. Is that clear? So next we can see that the pollen grains are used as I have told you here, it causes some allergy, bronchitis problem, then it also causes irritation. The pollen grain has some more uses. Means nowadays the pollen grain is used as food supplement. In Western countries like Australia, America, England, the pollen grains are used as food supplement, and also due to its high energy, it is used by the athletes, clear? Athletes as well as the race horse, means the horse who are participating in race, they are also given pollen grain. How they are given? They are given by pollen tablets, pollen capsules and pollen syrups are widely used. Again, different plants show different viable time period of their pollen grain. Suppose for example, as we know, when the pollen grains are released, they have a specific viable time period, means fertilizing time period. After that time period, they may lose their viability. It means some pollen grains show their lifetime or life cycle up to 30 minutes, whereas some show more than 1 month or several years. If we see the rice, wheat, etc., the pollen grain of rice and wheat have 30 minutes viability. Viability means up to 30 minutes they are able to release their male gametes for fertilization. But in case of Rosaceae, Liliaceae, Solanaceae and some Leguminaceae family. Leguminaceae, they are the family in which many plant species are come. The pollen grain of these families have the viability up to several years. Up to several years. That's why pollen grains are best preserved fossils also. Here I want to tell you another thing that is skipped by me. Due to presence of sporopollenin, they are preserved as the fossils. Means as the sporopollenin is indestructible, so the pollen grains can be stored for a long time period. Here I have told you some species of family Rosaceae, Liliaceae, Solanaceae, Leguminaceae pollen grain. The species of these families pollen grain have the viability of several years. Means if after releasing the pollen grain, they will not lose their viability very soon. They have a long viability to retain the male gametes for fertilize. So here we can say as sometimes pollen grains are stored for a long time period in future use. As we know, many species of plants are endangered and some are extincted. But still now we are able to produce new plants. How this is possible? This is possible due to the storage or preservation of pollen grain. Preservation of pollen grain. We can see here the preservation of pollen grain. What is the importance of preserving the pollen grain? As we know that many species of plants are get extincted and endangered in near future, they may completely finish. So for that the pollen grains are collected and they are kept in liquid nitrogen for about -196 degrees Celsius. As we know, Many species of animals also sperms are stored in liquid nitrogen. Like sperms, pollen grain is also stored in liquid nitrogen for the future use. Means in the seed banks and in cryopreservation, we can say as cryopreservation. This technique is called cryopreservation. So students, here how the pollen grain have various uses and importance we see. So next we will study about the formation of female gametophyte, that is megasporogenesis.